So how to get your first speaking engagement. You want to speak in 2026 or beyond, and this is how you're going to do it. So at the end of 2024, I decided to become a multi-passionate careerist, and basically what that means is I wanted to use all my skills and all my passions to make money. And I didn't want to have a 9-to-5. I wanted to be a speaker, I wanted to be a non-executive director, I wanted to be a consultant, and I wanted to do all of those things rather than just having one job. But I needed to find a way to make money from each of these different areas. And so I left my very well paid tech job in London to do just this. And so I'm going to tell you how I became a paid speaker and how I got my first paid speaking engagement so that you can do the same. Okay, so the first thing is first. We need to establish what you're going to speak about, and it is so easy to do that, especially in the age of AI. So you know what I'm going to say. You're going to go to ChatGPT, you're going to write all the jobs that you've done in the past, especially the ones that you are most skilled at and you have the most experience in. You're then going to write down all your hobbies. You're going to write about any awards that you've won, any sort of side hustles that you've done, any schemes that you've been on. You're going to write that all out. The more detail, the better. The more information you give ChatGPT, the better. Then you're going to say, give me ideas for speaking engagements and what I can speak about. I'm going to write the prompt, the exact prompt in the description, so check it out there. Copy and paste it and add your own stuff within it. And so ChatGPT will then give you a response of all the things that you can speak about. After that, you're going to say, what is trending at the moment? You now have what you're going to speak about. Now what we're going to do is go to LinkedIn. So I alluded to this before. On LinkedIn is your best friend. There's so much opportunity that comes from LinkedIn if you optimize it correctly. And you don't even have to post all that much. So the first thing you're going to do is optimize LinkedIn. You're going to make sure that you have a really professional photograph. That's really important, especially within the speaking space. You want to have one where you are sort of shoulders on, you present yourself as confident, you look like a professional speaker. If someone says they've booked you, it's like yes, no questions asked, okay? So you want to make sure that you have a professional photo on your LinkedIn. You then want to make sure that your bio is optimized for speaking and what you'll be speaking about and any experience that you have within that. Again, you can use ChatGPT to optimize your bio and ask it to optimize your bio once you've given it the information. You want to make sure that your strapline within when you see your name, you want to also have, along with the other things that you do, speaker somewhere within there. And then in your history, your work history, you want to also optimize that, make sure that there's a lot of detail there, make sure it's colorful so that people know what you're about, what your experience is, and what you bring to the table. So once you've optimized your LinkedIn, you should see people start to come to you in terms of asking you to speak at things. Now that's great, but that can be really sporadic. You might have 1, 2, 3 of those a year. We want to go to people, okay, and not wait for people to come to us. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to host our own live events. So you might want to go on Instagram Live, you want to may go on TikTok Live, you may want to go Facebook Live, whatever it is. Go on live, practice speaking, practice telling people what you are, what you do, and the quality of speaking that you bring to the table. Okay, so now that you are doing your events, you are practicing your craft, you're honing your craft, you're talking to people, you're exposing yourself. What we also want to do is, again, going back to LinkedIn, is we want to create content. So you can record those lives and create videos out of those, and we want to post that content onto LinkedIn. Now I've been really terrible at doing this. I think it's quite scary to post on LinkedIn, especially when you have your professional network there, because you really are exposing yourself and you feel vulnerable. But there is so much opportunity on LinkedIn. I have so many colleagues that I work with as a consultant who are also speakers, and they are posting on LinkedIn and telling people about what they're doing, what they're speaking at, where they've spoken before, and they're getting more and more opportunities. So So I definitely would recommend posting on LinkedIn if you feel comfortable, because there's so much opportunity there. And the great thing about LinkedIn is when somebody from your network likes or engages with your video, people from their network who you may not necessarily be connected with can also see your video, and therefore it exposes you to a greater audience far quicker than other social media platforms. So definitely LinkedIn. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to identify all the conferences within your area or your city, and you want to contact them. You want to say, I am available to speak about this is my credentials, this is what I've done before, and make sure, if you can, add in some testimonials. If you can, add in some photos of yourself speaking, maybe a link to some sort of talk that you've done before, and say, I'm available to talk at your conference. Now, you may not always get them to pay you for that, and that's because I find some of the bigger conferences don't pay because they rely on the fact that you want them for your own brand. So their brand is so big that it's like, yeah, you know, you get to put our brand on your CV. And so what you can do with that is, I would take those opportunities, and then again use social media to say, look, I've spoken here, hey, look what I did, I spoke at this place. And it's building your credibility, and it's building your trust within this space. So those are some surefire ways to build your own speaking brand. Another thing you can do is actually host your own live event, and I've seen people do this quite recently, where they host an event and they invite leaders within the industry to come. Now that obviously takes some investment in terms of paying for the venue, maybe paying for people's lunches or teas and coffees, that sort of thing, but it's definitely worth thinking about if this is something that you want to do in the long term. So those are some surefire ways of how to get paid to speak. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I would love to hear whether you have tried these, whether you plan to try these. Share this video with somebody who has speaking engagements on their goals for the year, and let me know what you think. Okay, take care now.